Hello and welcome to Elizabeth Magical Garden, a magical garden reaching for the stars.
Hey guys, welcome back. Be sure to check out the show notes at the bottom of this recording because I usually have a lot of cute little tidbits along the way, and you also get to follow me on Instagram at Elizabeth Magical Garden. All the information will be down below. Hi, my name is Elizabeth from Elizabeth Magical Garden, a magical garden reaching for the stars. Guys, welcome back to the podcast. Happy March. We're here. Daylight saving times has changed the game, at least for me. I changed my drapes, so we're letting the sun come in because for a hot minute I felt like my body was like trying to understand what was going on, because it's sunny outside, but yet it's dark in here. And I'm a type of person where I need it to be really sunny so I can feel more vibrant. I feel like all of us is like that. I know I even invested, I should say, in a Philips light system where it wakes you up really pleasantly without the noise. I mean, you could put the noise on as well, the siren, the alarm, so you can wake up if you need extra. But I like that feel because it gives you in the wintertime that spring vibes. But anyway, I say all of that to say welcome, happy potentially spring. Listen, I always tell you guys, once it's March, it's spring to me. So I don't care that the weather is still a little chilly, it is spring. So happy spring, guys. But anyway, guys, we are going to dive into such a delicious topic. Once again, I am batching these recordings for you guys, which I am so excited because so much has changed in the last couple of weeks. I feel, I really love coming before you guys with such like new energy, and it's just so delicious for me. Oh, by the way, to my listeners, be sure to check out the podcast channel at YouTube, which is Elizabeth Magical Garden Podcast. All the links will be down below. And also check out my vlog channel. You may want to subscribe to that channel because I am, sharing some behind the scenes as well of my personal journey. And I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, I'll be documenting something that I feel that was coming for a very long time, but I was like many of you guys, like really trying to push it away as much as possible. So I'll be documenting that. But yeah, welcome back to the podcast. I pray that everybody is well, and I definitely pray that everybody is in great spirits. I pray that everybody is keeping the faith and doing the best that we all can, right? Because honestly, it's hard out here. It's hard out here, not claiming it, but it is true. And it's even more of a sacrifice on our parts to retain our mental health, right? To maintain and to retain our mental health, because it is a really hard thing when you think about it. So shout out to all the warriors out here that's just not whining and falling apart. And even if you are whining and falling apart, you're getting back up. You're doing what you need to do. You're fighting a good fight, and I salute you, and we salute you too. So today's topic, we are going to be discussing letting your hair grow gray. No more hair dye. Being okay with gray hair. Yes, honey. I did a segment where I discussed ageism. I also wrote an article about, the deficit in terms of like financial a lot of elderly people find themselves on, Skids Row, unfortunately, because we live in a society now where a lot of people are living alone. Family units are no longer the way they used to be. I remember when I was growing up, we had a designated house where no matter what time of the day, what was going on, somebody was there to open that door for you. Somebody was there to open the door. Somebody was there to greet you. Somebody was there to feed you. Somebody was there to listen to you. Somebody was there to love on you. And to not have that anymore is heartbreaking. My aunt, she was a designated driver. I hate to say it, but she was. And I know for one, I have always been grateful for her. My grandmother, when God bless her spirit, when she was with us, she lived at my aunt's house for many, many years. And when she fell ill, my aunt was so gracious enough to take her in and take care of her. I mean, we all did our part, but she was the one. And with that being said, she also was the one that we would always come to our house just for anything. And I kid you not, you always felt better after leaving that house. I remember, this is many, many years ago. I remember I was like on the last leg of a really bad cold. And I really feel like it was like type flu situation. But anyway, I was on a last leg. I was getting better, but like that last little, you need a little something. So I remember going to her house. I kid you not. I only was there. I'm not even going to say 10 hours, maybe 6, maybe 7. And between the food, between the hot beverage, between the love, I kid you not, when I left her house, I was completely well. I was healed. And unfortunately, a lot of times when people are, aging, they fall into a depression. They fall into sickness, not because they were really unwell. They say where the mind goes, the body follows. And that's so true. So, if you have a loved one that is, and I feel like we, especially anybody in their 50s now, we are the ones that are going to be runners up to be that anchor for the family, especially for the unit. And if you are blessed to still have your parents or parent, with you in this lifetime, be sure to drop a line, be sure to check in, be sure to, send those good night texts. I know we live in a world where it's really busy and it's not the way I just mentioned. And if you still do have that running through your family, God bless you. But we can do our part, right? Because guess what? By the grace of God, one day, it's going to be us. So, you want to start planting those seeds. But anyway, girl, this is for my 40s, my 50s, my 60s. I'm talking to you, okay? Because like I said, I did write a comment. I did write a article about ageism. And I also did put up a segment. I believe that probably before this one, if not, it'll be coming up. I dove into the aging and being comfortable in your skin, and I'll go way more into that into another episode. But I just want to give you a short briefing, if I may say, of what the weather is going to be like on this channel, this podcast going forward. You know what I mean? Because I feel like aging and the aging process is being poo-pooed on, and I'm not here for it, right? Because anybody, especially that was born in my era, we started a lot of this stuff, okay? Like all this stuff that these kids are doing, excuse me, we are the originals. The originals. Remember the vampires? Just saying. Okay, anyway. With that being said, gray hair has been an issue for women across the board, no matter what age you find yourself in the spectrum. Personally, I'm really speaking to the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, but even, people have premature gray hairs as well. But what I'm saying is especially when you start to age and everything changes, we're already dealing with, menopause and night sweats or day sweats or, mood swings and all of the above. It's so much. There's so much to be readjusted with, right? Nevertheless, the atmospheres of what's going on politically, but that's a whole nother topic. I try not to do that, but it is what it is. It's at a point where, we just can't unsee a lot of things. And, the aging process can really do something to you mentally. I know when I turned 50, I went into this whole thing. And again, be sure to check out my vlog channel, because you'll literally see me going hard at the gym. Hired a trainer, which I discussed on the podcast before, and I was going hard. Your girl was doing it, right? Because I had this, I don't know, I felt like I was running away. When I look back, I didn't see it in that way before, just being honest. But when I do look back, I feel like I was running away from the aging process. I was running away from my 50s. Like I just couldn't mentally, perceive it. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what it was going to sound like. I didn't know what it was going to feel like. The aging process is almost like going through adolescence backwards, and that's a real thing. And it could leave you having many questions. No one really speaks about it. When I first was going through premenopausal, no one really had anything for me. All the information that I had to buy books. I had to dig deep. I had to really rummage through the cans to find bits and pieces that looked like me, that sound like me, because guess what? I am an African American woman. I'm a Black woman. And what a Caucasian woman may be going through in terms of their symptoms, that's not necessarily what an African American woman will be going through. That's another thing. We have to understand that different races experiences different things. And I don't think that that's spoken about enough, just off of the food and the culture and how we consume things is different. So of course, it scientifically, it makes sense that we would also be experiencing the same life situations, but differently. And when it comes to a Black woman's hair, oh my God, and it's a really touchy subject. And I wanted to put my spin on, going gray and allowing your hair to go gray. I decided to let my hair go gray, guys. Hold on. Buckle your seatbelts. Yes, I did. I decided. Now, I'm in the early stages, I would say, because let me just go back. About 2 or 3 years ago, I would say 3 years ago, when I had my locks, when I first was getting my locks, and I was going through that process, I seen a lot of gray coming in, and I toyed with the fact of just naturally letting them come in, but I couldn't handle mentally, going through the process. That beginning, if anybody had locks before, there's a beginning process where you have to let your hair bud and all the things, and your hair is going wild because it's it's marrying itself. It's the coils is trying to find because it's not being tamed anymore. With that being said, having the gray on top of that, I just couldn't handle it. So I colored my hair. I colored it, and I was like, one, I could deal with one, but two was just a little much for me. Fast forward, about, I would say September that just passed, October. I want to say October that just passed, 2024. I started wearing, protective styles, wigs and weaves. And it was one time that I took off. I feel like it was like I was about to install a weave. Yeah. I was about to install a weave, and I noticed my roots were coming in like the Hulk. And I didn't mentally place it, because in my mind I'm covering it up. So it's it didn't matter. So that's what I did. But when I took it out, I was mortified. I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of women, it's almost, and especially African American women, we don't, for some reason, the disconnect with our hair it runs deep. It runs deep. Okay. It runs deep mentally. It runs deep emotionally, physically, spiritually. It runs really deep. And we was taught for so long that our hair is not, it's just not it. It's just not beautiful. It's just not this part of the status quo. It's just not forgiving. It's too much. It's too big. It's too loud. It has to be tamed, and then when you put color on top of that, gray and natural hair, are you kidding me? Thank God we are now in the 20th century coming to I feel like we're still not there. But we are starting to see a lot of people embracing their natural hair, embracing their gray hair somewhat, because let me tell you something. I know for me, when I seen the gray come in, I was mortified. I was taken aback, and I wasn't putting in an install. That's another thing. For me to be able to be okay with my hair, I had to color it, because I wasn't able to do both, right? And why am I sharing this? Why am I sharing my personal story? Because I want to share, to let anybody under the sound of my voice understand that you're not alone. You're not the only one that feels a bit insignificant when you are when your natural hair is out, and now because of the aging process, you're going gray and you feel boxed in, where you have to make a decision to put chemicals in your hair just to be accepted in society. Right. And I feel like, unbeknownst to me, I was shocked. I felt like that. I consider myself a bit of a rebel. I consider myself to be a leader in my own right. I never been a person that was like, oh, I'm a follower, thank God. I'm not perfect, but that was never really my thing. I always was a person, and still now am a person to, dance to my own drum, my own beat. But you'd be surprised, the things that we listen to, the things that we see. So, subconsciously we're being programmed, and we don't even realize. We don't even realize how much of an effect, the things that we see and we're consuming takes a toll on us. So with that being said, I colored my hair. I colored my hair. And this time it felt different. My scalp, I was a little Now I did take down a really tight install that was crazy. Thank God my edges are still here. They suffered a little bit, but we just made it, okay? Because I did experience some breakage, and that was a whole scene of its own. I'm just grateful to be here. Okay. And with that being said, I slapped on some color and my scalp was screaming at me. I felt like it was itching. It was just, I kind of felt like I was putting a perm in my hair, a relaxer. And I haven't had a relaxer in decades. So I couldn't understand why my hair was feeling like that. And I came to the conclusion my scalp has changed. I'm believing it's more sensitive. As you age, different things start to be a little more sensitive to things that maybe necessarily it wasn't necessarily sensitive towards before. Now, with that being said, I probably was sensitive to it before and just never put two and two together. That could be a thing too. You know what I mean? And I just said to myself, I was just like, after 3 weeks of going through that and seeing my roots come up, I was like, I'm done. Because I was like, first of all, I was kind of shocked that within 3 weeks, I'm seeing like some really strong roots. Because I went from having to color my hair maybe like twice a year, once a year, twice a year. And then I noticed it went to like every 3 to 4 months. And over the course of time, and because I was putting protective hairstyles, the time span between getting a touch up was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And now we're like every month. I'm not coloring my hair every month. I'm not doing it. I'm not touching up my roots every month to keep up with the facade of me having dark hair. Now, I want to be clear. This is not to shame anyone that decides to color their hair. Boo, do you? Okay? Do you. Be free. Do you. If this is what you, this cord right here, if this is what you choose to do, and that's how you are, you still want to present yourself when you walk out and it makes you feel good, do you. I'm speaking specifically to the people that are thinking about it, that have been wanting to do it, that is sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm speaking to you. Okay? Because I feel like, when did we get into this vortex of no one ages? No one gets old anymore. And when I say old, aging, getting older, that is a blessing, guys. You woke up this morning. God seemed fit to continuously waking you up to be part of this beautiful world, right? Whether you know it or not, regardless of what you are experiencing at this present time, right? Why should you jip yourself from the aging process? Now, again, if you choose to color your hair, because even with that being said, like I go in without holding myself down in any lane. I can do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. Okay, that is the beauty of things. But at this present time, I have a couple of reasons of why I personally, and I'll share that with you in a minute, of why I no longer want to color my hair. Number one, the health. I want to keep my hair healthy and strong. Again, check out the podcast at Elizabeth Magical Garden Podcast if you would like to see this girl's lovely face, because my hair has never been, I should say, this thick in years. because whenever you put a chemical on your hair, it does alter your curls, it does soften the pattern, and it changes things. I feel like you're more prone to breakage. It's been a couple of things that I did other than not color my hair, and I'll do another segment because as we get up in age, hair thinning is a real thing. Your hormones are not the way they used to be, and the flux of hormones can allow for a lot of your hair to come out more than usual. And again, I'll do another segment of this very topic because I have got some true blues that I'll share with you if you are in the market for thick, healthy hair. And I think that we all are in the market for that, regardless of what age you are. So stay tuned for that. But I have never seen anyone in my family with gray hair. My grandmother, she passed on when she was about almost going towards 96. God spare her spirit. God bless her spirit, I should say. And she colored her hair. Well, they was coloring her hair for a very long time. They stopped when I believe like when she got like in her 90s, I believe. But by that time, it just was different. A lot of things was different with her. But when she was younger, you kidding me? She was coloring her hair, or she was wearing a wig with the color of her hair. Okay, because my grandmother was a natural redhead, beautiful, gorgeous hair. That woman she was beautiful. I miss my grandmother. Anyway, shout out to everybody that still got their grandparents. Okay, so I never seen anyone in my immediate family with gray hair, so I guess I'll be the first that I know about. And I want to also accept myself. One of the things that I was blessed to experience when I was going through my lock journey for the second time, I got to experience me being comfortable in my natural beauty, in my natural skin, in my natural hair. I got to be comfortable and see myself go through the process of just being me, without a lot of I was coloring it, but I wasn't combing it, right? I got to see myself in a way that money could never buy. It was such a beautiful experience. I feel like hair has a tendency to heal women, or regardless of what nationality you find yourself in. A woman's hair is a very sacred thing to them. My mother would always say, oh, your beauty is in your hair. Always make sure you keep your hair clean. Make sure you maintain your hair, cut your ends, do all the things, right? And it is really true. It is really, really true. I mean, it's even in the Bible, okay? It's really it's even in the Bible with not Sodom and Gomorrah. What's his name? And she cut off all his hair. I can't. Oh my God. Leave a comment down below if you remember. But it's bothering me that I can't remember right now. But all his hair, she took off all his. Oh my God. Why can't I remember? Okay. Hair is beauty. Hair in a lot of other cultures is said to, especially the Indian culture, whereas your hair is a connection to the divine, to the earth. You're able to feel, is your antennas. You're able to feel a lot of things through your hair. And I truly, truly believe that. So it's not just women. Hair holds a lot of power as well. So going through that system of seeing yourself changing can and will affect you. It will. You know, when we go down the aisle and we see nothing but beautiful, gorgeous young women on these boxes of dye, you know, kind of like letting us know, okay, you can look like me if you want to. All you got to do is color your hair and you'll be younger. And I'm not going to say that it doesn't hold a little truth. Okay. Now, are you going to look like the lady on the box? No. Are you going to look younger or appear younger? Yes. Okay. Because as I look at myself right now, my roots have not yet got to the point where I can see, you know how kinky curly hair is, like it'd be buried in a root. So I'm it's gonna be a minute before y'all get to, at least I think so, a minute before you start to see the grays start to appear because of the texture of my hair. But you know, it is true. It does appear and to give a facade of youth, because we attach dark colored hair as young, right? And society knows that. This is why they push all these chemicals on us, because they know that we want to feel young. We want to feel vibrant, right? They will not give you the job. They will really look down upon you because they feel like you know, your zest is just not there. No one wants to constantly pour in a vessel that look like it's on the outs. Now, is that true? Absolutely not. Just because you know what's so funny? Even if you color your hair, you're still the same age. You're still the same age. The hair doesn't change your age. You might appear to look younger, okay, but you can still appear to look younger with the gray hair. Honestly, I went on Pinterest, and again, when I was, you know, deciding this is the journey that I'm going to be on, I'm a nerd. I like to really like dissect, look to see, you know, like-minded people, what they look like, what's going on, how they carrying themselves, how they getting through it. And I came across so many gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous women with gray hair. I was stunned. I mean, I'm sure I saw them before, but I just never really paid attention to it. I was taken aback of how beautiful and gorgeous these women, I mean, of all races. I just was like, it made me proud to be a woman, to be honest. You know, now I'm excited. I feel, since I made this decision, not only do I feel excited, I feel blessed, I feel more confident, because now I'm not in my bag where, oh, I got to cover this up. Like shame, you know, it's like you're living in shame. Like, oh my God, I don't want anybody to see me who I really am. Let me cover this up. You know, it's a mind screw. And I'm here to help you get liberated. Let's do this together. Shout out to all the women that's going to let their hair go gray. Okay. This is the year of being true. Honestly, I feel like, especially for my girlies that was born in their 70s, you already know you got that zen. You already know you got that vibe. You already know you're that woman. Hello. And it doesn't mean your sense of style has to change. You don't have to change. Well, hold on. You do have to change. You have to change the way you understand things, right? Because it is a programming, and you are going to have to do some work of unprogramming yourself, especially because just because you made this decision, or you're going to make this decision, it doesn't mean that everyone around you is going to be okay or even comfortable with your decision. But you know, the funny thing is, it doesn't matter, because this is your life. Who cares what they think? Who cares what they have to say? Boo, live your best life. Do you and be true, because 2025 is your year. It's your year to flourish. It's your year to become that rose, that beautiful flower that you have always been, to become comfortable in your true nature. And if gray hair is a start, allowing your hair to be gray is a start for you to be healthy and vibrant into your new journey, then so be it. Guys, woo, I feel like that was a mouthful, more than a mouthful, and I'm here for it. Leave a comment down below if you're down for this new phase of life. Be sure to subscribe to my vlog channel where I'll be documenting my journey soon. I wanted to share that with you guys because I want you to come along and, let's rally together. I feel like we are greater in numbers. So be sure to subscribe to the vlog channel at Elizabeth Magical Garden, as well as subscribe to the podcast channel at Elizabeth Magical Garden Podcast. And if you want a one-stop shop, just head on over to my blog where all that I write, all the things that I create resides on that platform as well. Guys, stay blessed, stay in peace, and stay empowered. Peace.
Hey guys, leave a comment, a review, preferably 5 stars. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram because what is popping over there. And also check out my YouTube channel to stay connected and see your girl's lovely face. Guys, I love you so much. Keep on pushing, and I'll definitely speak to you soon. Be blessed.